What is up? Welcome to another Urban Master experiment. So today's project is a follow-up to the shifter shaft bushing replacement video. It was brought to my attention that the bushings on the Softail actually need to be countersunk, and thanks to my OCD, we're going to do this. It's been about 6 months since I did the bushings job, and they're holding perfect. No rattling, nothing, no issues. One thing I want to do is I want to countersink them a little bit further so it allows some room for the O-rings. So there is absolutely no play this way. There's just a little movement left to right of the bike. And if I pull it all the way to the left, there's a gap about 3 or 4 millimeters. So what I'm going to do is push the bushings further in. Step number 1 is to take all this apart, just like we did last time. And we're going to start with the footrest. And the footrest is off. Now using a 1/4 inch Allen, we're going to undo the shifters. This one is off. Certainly comes off much easier the second time. And now we can take it all apart. The plastic ring, the outer O-ring, the shaft, and it has the inner O-ring. So as you can see, there is a little groove here that is made to receive the O-ring, and my goal is to actually push the bushing in a bit further, just about half of the width of this O-ring, so that it sits there nice. And it is the same deal on the back. So actually all we need to do is to push this about 1 millimeter in. And here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to use a skinnier bolt and the same socket that I used to install these bushings. And I'm going to align this perfectly with the bushing and screw it in on the other side, so that way I can control how far the bushing goes. Just like that. So I have a socket perfectly pressing on a bushing and a washer on this side. And very slowly I'm just sanding it in. That's it. Let's zoom in. And I'm going to do the same thing for the right bushing, except reversing the tool. All right, let's see. Yeah, perfect. Let's see how it sits there. Oh yeah, just perfect. So about 3/4 of the width of the O-ring is in this tube, but the shaft itself is not touching the frame. And that's what I wanted to achieve. So now reinstalling it back together. First we're gonna apply some grease. We have one O-ring on the shaft. Get that in. Now the second O-ring goes outside. Now the plastic spacer. And now if I push it all the way in, there's probably less than 1 millimeter on each side. Just a drop of Loctite. And just like the last time, in order to get the position of the shifters, I'll install the footboard. Gonna drop a Loctite on this bolt. And the most important part of this job is to make sure that the bolt aligns with the groove on the shaft. The back one was supposed to be 7.5 centimeters. I know I said it last time, but it is so much better now. And actually the shaft is sticking out, I'd say about 1 millimeter now. So let me get the footboard out of the way. Little blue Loctite. And get this pretty tight. And the torque spec on this is 27 foot-pounds. But I don't have my torque wrench, so I'm gonna do it the old school way. Making it really tight. As tight as I can with this Allen. And the last step, we're going to install the footboard. And a little tip is I like to point both bolts this way. So even if the nut comes undone, you still might have the bolt. And hopefully you won't lose the footboard itself. Not that it ever happened to me. And I'm putting a drop of Loctite as well. So here's another angle. Absolutely no rattling. And it's so tight. And I'm pulling all the way in, and there's just like a millimeter gap between these two. I know I said it last time, but now it is definitely perfect. Alright, so that is it. This is how you countersink shifter bushings on a Softail. And if you like this video, share it with your friends, like and subscribe. Take it easy, guys.